What's going on, guys? Cheaptard Bill here, and welcome to a late vlog because it's been 2 days since it was supposed to be posted. But anyway, enough on that. There are reasons, and I'm not going to get into them because, well, it's not really that big a deal. I should have been able to put one out on Sunday, but one thing happened and then another thing happened. So anyway, there we are on that. So this week, I wanted to talk to you guys about February, and I want to get more into what February is going to be about. So anyway, as all of you know, if you watched my Pokemon Infernal Red first episode, I said that February was going to be my Pokemon month, and that's going to start in about 5 days, non-inclusive. So with that said, here are my plans for that. First off, I'm going to play Pokemon Infernal Red for that month, and I think they're up to 5 or 6 badges in stopping Team Rocket in Celadon City. I think that's all they've got up to where they are now, in comparison to the final game, which I believe they said was going to be huge. Second off, I am going to be playing the first Pokemon game I played back in the late 90s when Pokemon came out, because like I've mentioned, Pokemon has been this huge part of my life. And I just want to honor it properly for the month of February, which means my series that I've got going on, Outlast, and I know that Outlast and Evil Within have kind of been sporadic, but they will get finished, and I promise that. But February is not going to be when they get finished, and with the amount of days I have left in January, I want to get a head start on starting Infernal Red and getting that done, because there are other fan games I'd like to play, plus the first Pokemon game, and I'm still undecided as to whether or not I want to make that like a weekly stream where I play it for a couple hours a day, and then also upload it to YouTube at the same time. So that'll be one of those toss-ups, and it all depends on weather, because if the kids are home, I won't be able to live stream due to the fact that the internet will be bogged down because of my shit internet, and I know a lot of you have shittier internet than me, so that's still, comparatively speaking, yeah, I've got bad internet. So if anybody's on their internet usage during the time I am, I can't live stream because the upload would just cut in half or thirds or what have you. So there's that. So I'm undecided as to whether or not my vintage Pokemon game, the first Pokemon game I played, which I have an emulator for, it's not going to be off of a 3DS because capturing a 3DS is fucking expensive. So I have an emulator for that, and I plan on doing that, but I don't know whether or not it's going to be a short series or just a series of live streams that get converted into YouTube videos, or expected amounts of content. And I will, if it is a live stream, I will come out in my next vlog, which will be on Sunday, tell you that it will be a live stream or it will be a series of videos, and I'm leaning heavily toward live stream. So count on that answer on Sunday. Now, with that said, we are getting to questions pretty early on in this recording. So, first question is going to be not from Junosaur because I just wanted to switch up the order, but this week's first question will be from Indie Gamer. And she asks, on top of telling me that David Tennant is handsome, and yes, he is a god among men, he is a fucking sexy bitch. Next, what is your absolute favorite game of all time, and why? When it comes down to games, my favorite game of all time is hitting things with a stick. That's if you encompass all of time. But if you want to go as far back as before sticks were invented, floating around like a dust particle, that's my favorite game of all time. Now, my absolute favorite video game of all time, surprisingly, isn't Pokemon. Pokemon's just been a part of my life for so long, but my favorite video game of all time, it is actually the first game that I personally invested my time into, which is Donkey Kong Country 1. And I mean, holy shit, I got the game on the Super Nintendo a year or two after it was released, and I played it and ended up beating it, and just the feeling of, we finally beat that croc bastard without cussing, because I didn't know how to cuss back then because I wasn't a sailor yet. I finally beat King K. Rool, yeah, I'm the best at video games. You know, that feeling cannot be surpassed, except for that feeling I got when I beat Assmast, or Blue, or Gary, or however I named him. I think I named him Gary on Pokemon Blue the first time. Holy shit. And that was an arduous battle. But yeah, my absolute favorite game of all time, it's actually a hard answer. I'm going to have to lean toward Donkey Kong Country, because that was the first game that I invested time into, that I beat, and it was a journey. It was a big journey, and I mean, I could probably go back to it now and this is nothing. What was I, a pussy when I was a kid? But yeah, Donkey Kong Country is what I will lean on. But when it comes down to game that had the most impact on my life, it would be Pokemon, because of how big it is in my life. And if you want to go further, currently my favorite game is the Soul series, and that is probably going to be my guilty pleasure. If I don't go full Cheaptard on it, I'm probably going to end up buying Dark Souls 3 day of release, but I doubt it. And I still haven't played Bloodborne because of the lack of PS4, but that's because I'm poor. Anyway, so there you go. Favorite game of all time, if you don't include video games, is Floating Around Like Dust. Favorite video game of all time is Donkey Kong Country, just because of the journey that I put into it when I first played it. A game that had the most impact on my life was Pokemon, obviously. I mean, I played all 6 generations. And my current favorite game right now is the Soul series, Dark Souls 1 and 2. And both I got both. I got Scholar of the First Sin and Prepare to Die edition for Dark Souls 1 Prepare to Die and Dark Souls 2 Scholar of the First Sin. I love the Soul series. It's a great game. It gives me that feeling I had when I played Donkey Kong Country. So there's that. And that's a long-winded fucking answer. Okay. Now to our next question from our favorite subscriber, from our favorite friend Junosaur. And because of the interaction that Junosaur and I have, I consider him an internet friend, which is kind of weird to say because internet friends didn't exist since Yahoo. But anyway, Junosaur asks, you have any cool stories from being in the Navy? Catching sharks, pranking friends with extremely hot peppers, running into crazy North Koreans, anything? Okay. This is gonna be newsy. Oh, I got the Goku mug. My wife bought it for me for my birthday, and it came in like last week. My favorite story I like to tell. Goddamn. My favorite story I like to tell people about when I was in the Navy was when I was chilling in a top secret part of the ship I was on, and I was just sitting down, waiting for the meeting for my ship's section, and CTM1 comes up to me and says, "Hey, move over." "No, fuck you, guy. I've sat here first." "Okay, let me rephrase that. If you don't move over, I'm gonna put my fucking nuts on your shoulder." Well, I still didn't move, and he put his nuts on my fucking shoulder. That's the craziest thing that ever happened to me. Some dude put his nuts on my shoulder. And then as soon as he did, I just fucking I got off the seat because fuck that shit. Some dude's nuts are on my shoulder. And apparently I answered the question wrong. I should have opened my mouth and, waited for him not to put his nuts in my mouth. That was one of the second classes telling me to open my mouth next time. But I mean, that's my favorite funny story I like to tell. I've had my share of seaman apprentices or airman apprentices on my first duty station because it was an air base, coming in for ID cards for their new dependent wives who were 17 times the size of them. And I mean, it is fairly commonplace in the Navy, if you work personnel, which is my first job, to see people coming in with, and just people getting married to Godzillas in general. Would-be whales is what we called them. And holy goddamn, that was fucked up. Unfortunately, I have never caught a shark because that's just dangerous. I haven't pranked anybody with hot peppers, but when I was working in the mess decks on my ship, I did end up there was this leftover broth from some spicy food that somebody also added a fuckload of tapatio to and told me to drink it, so I did without any reaction. It wasn't fun for them because I eat hot food like crazy. Never ran into any crazy North Koreans, but there was quite a number of South Koreans that spoke Korean and I couldn't because my mom never taught me because she didn't want me to have a crazy accent. You don't want me to go around saying, "Hello, I'm gonna show you what. Can I take an order, please?" No. So my mom never taught me Korean because she didn't want me to have an accent. Which I still have a weird accent if you count the northern accent, but c'est la vie. So there you go. The craziest thing that ever happened to me was somebody putting their nuts on my shoulder. The craziest thing I've seen was a shitload of apprentices marrying whales. And never ran into any crazy North Koreans. Just South Koreans. So there we go. Those are the questions. And that is this week's vlog. So again, leave questions. If you follow me on Twitter, leave them on Twitter. And I'll answer them from Twitter too. And leave them in the comments, leave them on Twitter, leave them on any platform you wish. You can even send them to me in carrier pigeon, and I will find a way, and I will answer them. Please don't send carrier pigeons though, because they are fucking shit boxes. So, thank you guys. Thank you guys so much for watching, and as always, I will see you in the next episode.